Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Isolated Insights. This week we read Parashat Re'eh. It's a continuation of Moshe, his final dialogue before he dies, and it's a recounting of all the trials, tribulations, and journeys that the Jewish people took under his leadership, as well as all the lessons they have learned or should have learned. And also a review of many of the commandments that they had learned along this journey. And in this week's portion, it talks about the commandment to tithe, to give a minimum of 10% of your income, preferably 20%, but a minimum of 10% of your income to charity. Now, the terminology that Torah uses to say this commandment is a double expression of aser to aser. You shall be certain to tithe. When there's a double lashon, a double expression, a double lashon of a word, then it's often coming to express the importance of it. However, the word aser, which is rooted in the word eser, 10, because you tithe, is also a very similar word and spelt the same as the word asher, riches, wealth. And the rabbis explained that the reason it uses this terminology is because aser, you should take ma'aser, you should take a tithe, bishvil, in order shetis asher, that you shall become wealthy. So it's quite extraordinary how this is one of the few, if not only, examples as where we see a direct outcome of an action of tithing is that you will increase your wealth. And in fact, I can personally tell you, I have seen this. If you open your eyes to it, obviously, I've literally seen, when I've been on top of my calculations of tithing, of Misa, the money that I need is there, or money will come from unexpected places after I've pledged that to charity, and often when I'm not up to date with my calculations, which unfortunately is more often than I would like. I often see that I need to be working out how to get more money. So it's interesting, and it's something you can see for yourself. It's quite rare within Torah that you see a live result of your action. But I, for one, definitely have seen how this is true. But another, it's true, like in Torah, everything in Torah, there's many levels. And on a spiritual level, it's true as well. And this is what it means to become wealthy. You see, there's a little parable that they used to teach me in school, and it was, you had this guy who used to travel the world, and he passed away, and he comes to heaven, and the angel says to him, "Sir, before you go in to your final seat here in heaven, do you have any currency you would like to check into your spiritual bank account?" And he pulls out a £5 note, and the angel says, "Sorry, that's not valid here. It's worth nothing." Pulls out $1, and he says, "That's not worth anything here either." He pulls out his rubles, his euros. It's never been worth anything, even on this world. But for sure, the next world, the angel says, "No, it's not worth anything." And as he's going through all his notes, there was some crumpled receipts there, and he just went past them. They're not worth anything. And the angel says, "Stop! What are those papers?" And he says, "They're just receipts." He said, "Let me see those receipts." And the angel takes a look, and he says, "These are currency for it," and they were receipts for charity. So you see, God has given us money. He's given us talents. He's given us wealth in many different areas, whether monetary or, like I said, in character traits, personality. And the reason we have these are to, very much for the purpose that we're here on this world, is to make this world a better place. So in essence, when we give from our money, and we realize this, that the money that we've earned, and rightly earned, is also there for us to help another person. Most people, most of the time we use it on nice food, nice cars. We drive nice cars, or even better, we get somebody else to drive us in nice cars, and nice houses and all that. It's all very nice. But ultimately, one day, I'm sorry to tell you, we're all going to pass on. We're all going to move on to another world. and perhaps I'm not sorry to tell you. Perhaps it's a good thing. But ultimately, the house, the car, everything else that stays here. That doesn't come with us, you see. So when the mitzvah of tithing is given with the terminology of you shall give tithing in order that you should be rich, you should be ultimately wealthy and spiritually wealthy, not only in this world but also in the world to come. And a quick story to finish off. I believe it was one of the Rothschilds who wrote in his final will to his children. He said, "I want to be buried in my socks." Now, as you know, the Jewish law dictates that a person must be buried with nothing else, bare body covered in shrouds. And so the children said to the Chevra Kadisha, they said, "Look, this is my father. The only thing he wanted, he was a very influential man, very wealthy man. The only thing he wanted was a pair of socks." And the Chevra Kadisha says, "I'm sorry, you're not having it." They tried the Jewish shtiffle, a bit of gelt, and Chevra Kadisha weren't having any of it. They said, "I'm sorry, this is what halacha is. This is how we respect it. This is how we respect the death." And they were upset, but they understood that ultimately halacha is the way we want to go, and there's obviously a right reason behind that. And when they got home from the funeral, sometime later they found another note from their father, and it said, "By now, my dear children, you would have buried me, and you would have realized that they did not even bury me with my socks." He says, "I was a rich man. I had everything. I had all the money, I had all the wealth, I had everything I needed. But even a pair of socks does not come with me into the next world." It's a powerful story and a powerful message for us to gain perspective on this. So yes, we're on this world and we're here to enjoy this world and we're here to live as human beings. But ultimately, we have to remember that everything we have, everything we're given, is for us to contribute back into this world to make this world a more beautiful world. So make sure you give to others in order that we become even more wealthy in a much, much stronger and more powerful spiritual sense. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Have a good week.